Hello, happy Friday. And we are on the run to eclipse season. So eclipse season is beginning next Saturday, more precisely, which will be the day of the new moon eclipse. So the solar eclipse at 21 degrees Libra. So what we're going to be talking, what we're going to be covering today is the run up to that eclipse, to eclipse season, to this portal between worlds. So what is happening? What astrological transits are we going to be having this week? So from Friday until next Friday, what kind of energies are we going to be navigating, basically, and what can we do with it in a constructive way? Remember, this is constructive astrology. I am Fernanda Paiva, Hitchhiking Stars. Great to see you here. Welcome if you just found me. Welcome again if you're coming back. That's great to see you. So here is my screen. So basically, two things that we're going to really be covering today is two planetary shifts. We have Venus moving signs. We have Mars moving signs as well. And a couple of challenging aspects, I think, that will be giving us a little bit of a clue of what's happening in this eclipse season, what sort of energies, what sort of shifts are we going to be facing during eclipse season. So I am planning to do an eclipse special, so do like a whole video about eclipse, not well, that will be a little bit of an in general sort of information, but I'm planning to do a special video next week about the eclipses, about where the eclipse is going to be falling in your chart based on your ascendant, and so we can go a little deeper into that information as well. But today, let's have a look at the weekly transits and what we can do with these transits up to the run to the eclipse. All right. Also, as usual, let me know in the comments what's going on, how you're feeling. What did you feel this week during the transits of this week? Yeah, because I love to see your comments. I love your participation, and I love this sense of community that we can build here in the channel as well. So my week has been pretty good. I think I'm finally managing to settle in a little bit more, to feel like I belong here again. I'm rearranging my plants, as you can see, and buying new plants as well. So I'm sort of making my place a little bit more beautiful as well, getting a recording place a bit set as well for all the videos that I plan to do. So that's pretty much it. I don't really have a lot of news here. So let's just dive into the astrology of this week. All right. So we are today, Friday the 6th of October is the closing square. So we're in the last quarter of the moon. So we're coming. So you can see that from here, from Cancer, the moon will move all the way to Libra, which is when we're going to have that new moon eclipse that we're all looking forward to, right? Or maybe some of us are not looking forward to it as much. But anyhow, for this weekend, what I really want to talk about is Sunday. So this is Saturday. We can see here, look, the Venus is at 28 degrees 57 Leo. So what's going to happen is, boom, on Sunday, and if I move by a couple of hours, then you can really see that shift. So I'm moving a few hours. There we go. This is like midnight on Monday here in Brazil. So really, it's in between Sunday and Monday. We have Venus shifting into Virgo. So what happens is Venus is considered to be in fall in Virgo. It doesn't feel very comfortable in Virgo, blah, blah, blah. There's a lot of that we can think about when we think of this shift. But not only that, we're also going to have straight away a Venus opposite Saturn in Pisces, which is going to be like very important during this week here. It's going to be one of the major aspects. And especially because Venus has an importance here, because the eclipse and all of these planets are in Libra. So they're all ruled by that Venus in Virgo. So we've got Mercury, Sun, South Node, and Mars as well in Libra. So this is definitely a strong flavor of this week, of not only this week, but a little longer as well, because it will last for a little longer during this whole Libra season, pretty much. So that's an important flavor that we find here, is analyzing and getting a little bit more acquainted rationally, logically with our values, but also any challenges that we're having around self-worth, valuing yourselves, valuing your work, and when you offer to people, pricing your work, all those different themes here will be under the spotlight with this Venus in Virgo. Like, how can you charge and value your service, for example? That's one of the things that comes to mind. Now, with the opposition to Saturn as well, I think this is going to be very acutely felt during this week between, when Venus moves to Virgo at the end of Sunday, beginning of Monday, Tuesday. So all of these days, we're going to be feeling that energy. And again, look, that's the opposition here. This is Wednesday, you see, of this week. So there's definitely a strong flavor here of challenges around our femininity, feminine energy, how we express feminine energy in our lives. How do we enjoy our pleasures? Do we feel guilty for enjoying things? All of that, I think, is going to be very much there under the spotlight. It could be other people bringing chaos into our lives, and we're trying to organize our lives because of that Virgoan flavor there as well. But another thing that I noticed, which I think is interesting from this week onwards, is that Venus and Mercury will be in mutual reception. So Mercury is in a sign ruled by Venus. So Mercury is in Libra, and Venus is in a sign ruled by Mercury. So Venus is in Virgo. So they're kind of having a little dialogue between each other. They have a little understanding of each other, and they're kind of helping each other in some way here in the process. So one of the key things that comes to my mind as well is insights into your relationships, intellectual understanding about all of these challenges that we're talking about as well, regarding self-worth, valuing yourself, femininity, expressing feminine energy, embracing feminine energy, etc. So this is all there as well with a mutual reception. Insights, understanding new ideas around that, new ways of expressing those energies as well. All of these is also highlighted with this mutual reception as well between the two. So this is one of the key energies that's happening. And the second key energy that's happening, which is more Martian, is like it's got this Mars flavor to it, is Mars square Pluto. So before, and I think the two energies around Mars, they're similar, because first during this week, so if I come back again Monday and Sunday as well, we have Mars exact is square to Pluto. And in fact, on Saturday, the moon will be involved, and it will be a bit of a T-square, a grand cross, if we consider the lunar nodes as well. And I think there is a lot of tension in this energy. There is a lot of power struggles that can be reflected by this energy. And one of the good things, or the constructive ways that we can use this energy, is observing. So when we can't just hit the wall and move forward, we can observe these energies. Okay, so if there's anything that's disturbing you, that's any sort of power struggles between you and another person, your boss, relationship wise, if it's a partner, anything like that, during these days you can observe it. So it doesn't have to be acted upon. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to do anything dramatic about it, but you can see what comes up to you. And I think this is one of the key things about constructive astrology. Is like knowing the time for non-action, basically. You don't have to force yourself to constantly be acting and doing things. I think this is one of the mistakes that we get from this Western society ideals, etc., that we have to be productive constantly. And I think astrology shows us, no, we don't have to. We can go inwards at certain times, and we can rest at certain times, and we can observe the things that come up as well. So I would strongly recommend, for the beginning of this week, pre-eclipse as well, and to have more clarity, even because there's a new moon eclipse, to have more clarity about what intentions you want to set, what energies you want to navigate, what new changes you want to embrace in your life. I think it's really important to observe the uncomfortable feelings that may come up in the beginning of this week on the run to the eclipse season. All right. So with Mars square Pluto is anger issues, seated anger, old anger coming up, you know, things that you thought you were okay with, but then suddenly you realize you're not so okay anymore. How to say no, people forcing their way onto you as well, you know, not asking you, trying to force you into do things that you don't want to do as well. All of that could be part of the picture. It's really important to weave into your chart. I always talk about that again and again. You need to place that Mars square Pluto into your chart. Where is Capricorn? Where is Libra in your chart? Because then you can have a better flavor, a better idea of how to make it into more specifics, okay? And to see how that ties into the rest of your chart, to your personal planets, etc. So with all of that said, my general advice here for this week is observe the challenges, observe the difficult feelings that might come up. Be the difficult feelings with that Venus in Virgo, opposite Saturn that I talked about, and all of the sense of rejection, the sense of not feeling valued, of not being valued, or not valuing yourself, or struggling to value your work, etc., or chaos that other people might be bringing to your life, etc., with the power struggles of that Mars Pluto. I think is really important to sit with it. If you can, draw it, do something creative with this energy that's not going to be destructive, that's not going to destroy the structures in your life that you cherish, or the relationships that you cherish, and so on. So it's a good few days to observe and to see what is it that you actually want. How do you want to direct the changes that will inevitably be happening with eclipse season approaching? Okay, so eclipse season really reflects changes that are non-negotiable. They really need to happen. Is a bigger release, is a stronger release of energy during the lunar cycle when we have eclipses. All right, letting go in a more dramatic way, moving on in a more dramatic way, etc. So for the few days up to the run, observe and decide, stir your boat. Where do you want to stir your boat in this strong, intense change that we're going to be navigating? All right. Now, the other thing that's important to talk about is Thursday. So we're on Thursday there, but it's really early hours here in Brazil. So if I change this to hours, you can see what I mean. There we go. Early hours of Thursday here in Brazil, late hours in other places. It really depends on your time zones, but you can easily find that for yourself. Mars will shift into Scorpio. Now, Mars is in its own sign in Scorpio, and it was in fall in Libra. It wasn't feeling very comfortable there. So I think after that square with Pluto for most of next week and this weekend as well, with Mars shifting into Scorpio, we might feel a little bit more comfortable with what came up. We might know what sort of sustained action we need to take as well. There will be a sense of empowerment, of reclaiming our power as well by the end of the week, as we get closer to the eclipse. And I think what's interesting as well from this shift of Mars in Scorpio is a trine to Saturn. So we have an exact trine as soon as Mars moves to Scorpio, because Saturn is at 0 Pisces. And for me, Mars trine Saturn does gives us an opportunity for emotional maturity, knowing more about our emotions, having more sustained action as well that's a little bit more constructive with, you know, these two signs in a trine is an opportunity. I think trines are removal of obstacles and opportunities. So if we were feeling held back, if we're like punching the walls and like trying to force our way through, or other people trying to force their way through, with that Mars Saturn trine, it's like obstacles are removed and we can move forward with that energy. We can finally feel that we can take effective action. There's a sense of effective action there that's kind of beginning with that Mars and Scorpio trine Saturn. So it's a good day to kickstart something that you want to continue for the long haul, you know, something that you want to, sustained action for the long haul as well, with that Mars trine Saturn. So this is it really in terms of the energy of the week. There's two big shifts of signs, you know, with Venus entering Virgo, and with Mars entering the Scorpio as well. So those will be very strong during eclipse season as well, and be taking a strong part in eclipse season as well. So those are the flavors I really wanted to talk about. We also have here, I'm noticing, Sun opposite Chiron on Wednesday as well. So there's a lot of intensity here. We have a Mars square Pluto, we have Venus opposite Saturn, and we have the Sun opposite Chiron as well. We might be dealing with a lot of wounds this week. We might be seeing a lot of things come up. But the key word here, if you need to take something from this video, is be patient, sit with it. Use this as an opportunity to see what needs to be seen, okay? What is it that you need to be aware? It doesn't work for you anymore, that you can set some intentions about letting go, about creating change in your life, and etc. So use the uncomfortableness creatively, okay? With patience. Know that these too shall pass. It won't stay like that. But we are definitely navigating some uncomfortable energies this week up to that new moon eclipse. Now, this is what I wanted to share with you. I am going to stop sharing my screen. And with the reminder that I want to do a video about eclipse season, I will be posting on Monday, hopefully, if everything goes well. I have a talk I'm giving to the Witches of Instagram this Sunday. So if you're interested, I'm going to put the link on the description of this video as well. And it will be a talk, a free talk, about the astrology for highly sensitives, astrology for empaths as well. So if you're interested in that topic, do get in touch or click on the link and find out more information there. It will be this Sunday, the 8th of October, and I'm very excited. I'm working on this talk now. I'm working on my slides. So have a look at that, and it will be your chance to talk to me as well live, which would be amazing. I would love to see you there. And I think this is it for this week. So new video coming next week about eclipse season. This talk coming this Sunday as well. Please do come. We'll be free. Get in touch. Let me know. Get in touch if you need more information. And that's it. I'm wishing you a wonderful weekend, a wonderful week, a beautiful run up, even if it's a little bit stressful. There is light at the end of the tunnel. Don't forget. Don't get discouraged. And I will be seeing you all next week. All right. So you take care now. Happy days for you. And I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.